Hey guys, welcome in. Thanks so much. This is an interview I did with Ben Wake that I believe is really going to help the new and up-and-coming voiceover artist that is looking for some ideas to really get some things going. Ben was and is an outstanding voiceover artist, and I'm looking for many great things to come from him. Check out what he has to say and the advice that he has to give on He Did It, That Means You Can Do It Too. Okay, hey, Ben, thanks so much for doing this interview with me today. It means a lot, and I know everyone that's reading the magazine and is going to hear this interview via the podcast is really, really interested in some of the great things that you've been able to do. So welcome into the show. I appreciate you being here.
It's great to be here. Thanks for speaking to me.
Well, Ben, first of all, let us know, where are you from? Where are you living?
Okay, I live in a town called Southport, which is in the United Kingdom. It's just outside of Liverpool.
Okay. All right, and you've lived there all your life?
I've lived in and around here all my life. I spent a couple of years living in Scotland, but somehow ended up back here.
Okay. What is it that, what's the first memory you have of really wanting to do this thing called voiceover? When did that begin for you?
The thing called voiceover is relatively new. I've been doing it for probably just over 12 months now. I've acted for a number of years, and I've been a singer for a number of years as well. So that was kind of my first foray into performing. The voiceover thing came from the fact that I had the equipment. The company I work for currently asked me if I could record some things for some internal marketing. And I've been a couple of years away from the microphone from my acting and my singing, and thought this was just a really, I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing the voiceovers for them, which made me look on, YouTube and things to how to improve and take it up and do more of it for other people. And I kind of fell from there. I kind of got stuck into the mire of YouTube videos.
Was it the equipment that kind of intrigued you? Was it the acting part of it? What was the thing that kind of got you? Being a singer, you're used to being behind the microphone and kind of performing, if you will, because there's a lot of performing that goes into that. So what was it about the actual doing of the voiceover that kind of really spoke to you?
A lot of it is to do with the acting side of it. As I say, I enjoyed acting when I was stage acting, and with family and work constraints, I've really failed to find the time to do it anymore. With the voiceover, it's a chance to perform, which I love to do. Yeah. And it's a chance to do that across so many different genres and to bring out so many different things. But it's the same with the singing. It's telling that story, getting that story across. And voiceover seemed a way that I could do that, carry on the acting side of things alongside having the family and the work constraints.
Well, and I know that the acting part is a big part of that. And it's the part for me that gets to be really fun. Because, when I'm in the booth, I get kind of animated. Is that kind of what your personality is like, or are you more kind of a reserved type of guy when you're doing your voiceover?
No, my voiceovers depend on what the voiceover is. I can get very animated very quickly. And again, it depends on the project, but I do find it's easier to animate. I do it in my person. I'm quite an animated person anyway. Okay, and I know you're
a football fan, even though we keep having this argument about football and soccer. But so I know you enjoy that a lot as well.
Well, it's being English, though. It's one of these sports we create, throw out in the world, and then everyone else beats us at. Kind of like cricket at the moment, with the Ashes going on.
Oh my gosh!
But yeah, our argument over football and soccer We call it football because we play it with our feet. You call it football because you've got one guy on the special team who sits in the back and comes on for one play.
Oh man. Okay. So, well, before we start an international incident here, across the pond, with the whole voiceover thing, when you first got into this, like you've been in it for, you said 12 months now that you've actually been, getting in seriously into voiceover. What was your first dive into that outside of you doing that special project for your employer? What was the first place you kind of went to say, hey, I want to see if I can start getting some work?
I looked at various videos on YouTube, which gave various hints and tips on how to be the next YouTube, be the next voiceover star.
Okay.
And the fantastic ones of, earn a 6-figure income if you watch this 4-minute webinar and then spend about 30 seconds of your time, you'll instantly make it, which are ridiculous. And there are far too many of them.
Yeah.
But my first one was I contacted a couple of voiceover artists. Mm-hmm. I spoke to a gentleman called Guy Harris in the UK, who's probably one of the busiest voiceover artists in the UK. I spoke to Bill DeWeese, mm-hmm. or I emailed with Bill DeWeese initially, as well, and Bob Bergen. I had a couple of emails through with him on how to get into it, what to look at, where to go, and then I started emailing companies. I started emailing e-learning companies initially. Straight away, you just went right for the gusto and started emailing companies directly. That's a different path than most people take. Yeah, I watched some videos. I had the equipment. I knew how to speak into a microphone, but I thought I'm gonna try it. What's the worst that can happen? They can ask me to do something. I can record it. I can fall on my backside. And then I'll probably think, I'll reassess this a bit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was, I had the equipment there. I watched a lot of videos. I had an idea of how to use the DAW through, I think I started off with Audacity, mm-hmm. with it being free. Right. And I spent time watching videos on how to use that. So I knew how to record into it. I knew roughly how to master a voice for singing. It was Audacity the same type of DAW that you used, singing? I'm assuming you guys probably used something vastly different from Audacity. Or did you record, or was it just live performing that you did? It was mainly just live performing I did, but I knew the basics of how to record into one. Okay. And then through the likes of YouTube and things, I just consumed videos, hours and hours and hours of videos on how to use it, how to record into it, what effects to use to try and make the voice sound better or clearer and things. And then I thought, I'll go for it. We'll try it. I'll see what we do. So I sent out a few emails, got no responses, sent out a few more, got no responses. Okay. And then thought, that's probably an idea. I better make a demo or something now, really. And so just hitting these people and going, I'm here. Well, and they're going, are you? Well, what is probably one of the biggest challenges that you've had? Or I'll say the biggest one. What's the biggest challenge you've had in developing your voiceover career over the past 12 months? It's the biggest challenge I've found with it is accepting the fact that you're going to send out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails, and you're going to get the odd few that are going to come back and go, oh, yeah, we'll keep you on file. Mm-hmm. You're going to get hundreds that are just not going to respond. It's just patience. It's having patience with it. Yeah. But as I say, I expected that to be the case. Learning the DAW was daunting. Okay. So I moved from Audacity to Adobe Audition. That's a little bit of a leap. It's a little bit of a leap between the two. I'd never go back. I do like Adobe Audition. But as I say, it's learning that, and then overthinking, over-processing is always an issue. The perfectionist problem.
Yeah.
But the fact that, you will listen to something, you will EQ it, you will normalize it, you will sit through it, and you'll go, just tweak this. I can just tweak that.
Yeah. The whole thing about leaving it alone and that less is more. It haunts all of us, I think, because we just want to sound so good. And all of a sudden we're thinking we're sounding good, and we sound horrible when we put it out into the real world. So I mean, in understanding that, and it's one of the concepts that I like to teach all the time, less is more with this, and you don't have to do a lot. You really don't. Letting your equipment, the microphone, the DAW, to a certain extent, do the work for you is really where it's at. And if you can do most of the stuff in before it goes to your DAW, do a lot of the processing there. You may have heard me mention a little piece of gear called a DBX 286S a few times before. I don't talk a lot about it, but you may have heard me mention it.
I think I'd heard you mention it once, maybe twice, and then I bought it.
It's not.
And then, then I bought it, and then I've heard you mention it since.
Yeah. But, with a lot of the things that you've gone through, Ben, over this past 12 months, which is really a short period of time. I mean, it's like a flash in the pan, just getting in for 12 months. Has there been anything that you've heard in the voiceover industry that has discouraged you, or that you just knew was flat out wrong to do, or that thing that you may have heard or someone told you that almost to a certain point kind of pissed you off because this just isn't real?
The misconception, or the guided misconception that is put out there through certain artists and certain people that, here you go, you can make this 6-7 figure business if you watch this webinar and buy this course for the next 2 months, and then you're going to be there, you're going to be making it, you're going to be the next big name, is wrong. It's in any kind of business sense, it's wrong. It doesn't happen. The get rich quick schemes don't work.
Yeah.
They're not real. And there's an awful lot of that, and it's a shame to see, because a lot of people will take that on face value.
Right.
That these things are there. And as I say, I purchased a course when I first started from a big name in the voiceover industry, or certainly the coaching side of it, that wasn't cheap. And from that, I got some videos, a PDF document, and the information was 5, maybe 6 years out of date.
Wow.
That was on there. One of the websites they recommended to use didn't function the same way it probably did back then.
Wow.
And things. So that was discouraging. And that was very early on.
Well, you've only been doing it 12 months, so this was fairly recent that this all transpired. And I mean, just listening to you talk about that, you can almost detect the pain in your voice, even as you're relating the story, with that. And it was one of the things, even when I, conceived of the idea of having steps to voiceover success, and I figured out there was this missing piece. I figured out there was this missing piece in the coaching process, which was access to the coach, access to the person that is actually doing the training. Do you think that is a legitimate thing to say, that that's a missing piece in this whole equation? You get a PDF, you get some videos, but having that one-on-one direct access to the coach, is that an issue?
It is, because you find with most of the courses, there is, you get the videos, you get the PDF, and then to access the coach, you pay further money for further time with them. So you can quite happily, spend upwards of, $1,000, $2,000 more for some of these courses. that, at best, you may send a demo off to somebody. They will listen to it. They will send you an email back with their critique.
Yeah.
And then you never hear anything again. How much of that is stock critique, I don't know. But then to ever actually speak to the coach, you're spending another $200 or $300 for half an hour of their time. Wow. And it's frustrating. And this is through a lot of the coaches, a lot of the courses that are out there, some of the bigger communities that are out there. Are the same kind of thing, which was a shame, and it was difficult. It was a lot of self-learning through the likes of YouTube, which is fortunate that there are a great amount of videos out there. It's a great resource.
Oh my gosh, yeah, love YouTube for that.
Yeah, but if you ever get stuck in a question, it's another half hour spent trying to find the video that answers that, and inevitably getting distracted by cats falling off things, and you find yourself, it's 6 hours later, it's 3 a.m, and you're wondering whether penguins have knees.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how is it that you came to find Steps to Voiceover Success? What was that journey like for you?
Steps to Voiceover Success. When I first found you, I don't think you quite created it.
Really? Okay.
I found you very, very early. I think it was around about February. I think I saw one of your first videos.
Yeah, that was well before. Yeah, that was well before Steps to Voiceover Success. Yeah. If you were watching me back in February of 2017.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I think I found you then. I think you were waiting to pick one of your children up from school.
Okay.
You were sat in your truck, and you were explaining the fact that at that point you'd noticed this gap in the industry.
Okay. And
you have this plan. This is what you were going to do.
Well, I actually said that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's funny hearing someone else tell the story from that perspective, but it's just odd hearing that and I tell people this all the time. It's like, you've got to set an agenda, and you've got to have a goal of something that you want to accomplish. And just hearing you say that, and knowing where we are right now in December of 2017, and all of this has actually come to fruition, is rather amazing. To just see it all grow and develop. And for me to find and work with people like yourself, that we've come together because of social media, literally because of YouTube. You and I are here now doing a podcast and an interview for a magazine that is yet to come out. First edition coming out next week. And you're my first interview for this. So it's kind of cool that you've been in this process, kind of along for this ride for the past 11 months, basically. And just able to, my gosh, you've seen it grow. Then you've literally watched it.
Yeah, I think I've been involved from the get-go with the initial, the Steps to Voiceover Success, the Marketing Mastery, through there, and now into the Inevitable Immersion results.
Yeah.
I've from finding that first video,
wow.
I don't know. I think I've watched everyone since.
Well, with you being involved basically from the beginning of this whole thing for me, actually pretty much the conception of where we are today, the email marketing strategy that I teach has been one of the things I think that you've relayed to me the most that has really been helpful. What has been the most intriguing thing to you about using that email marketing strategy, which all of us refer to as the mail shake strategy at this point?
The mail shake strategy. Yeah. Other automatic emailers are out there, but Mailshake is the one I use. It was something I didn't know of automatic mailing systems. Mm-hmm. I was sending cold emails out and then sticking them in my diary, my calendar, following that up. A couple of weeks later, did you get my email? If I remembered who I'd sent it to. And it was time consuming. Getting the list together, finding the emails myself, searching through website after website, trying to find the contact details. But so with the Mailshake strategy,
mm-hmm.
Hold on, there are people on Fiverr who will get me a list of 1,000 people for $50. So £35.
Yeah.
I can then put it into this little bit of kit that will email it all out and follow it up.
Yeah. When I found it, it was amazing. I thought it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. It's an outstanding product for a pretty reasonable cost considering. And as I say, that's helped streamline, for want of a better term, the way I was marketing. It's allowed me to focus more on learning more. So the time I would have spent trawling through companies to try and find the contact details, I've spent learning how better to process my voice, learning other bits of equipment, playing with the DBX 286S that you managed to twist my arm into buying.
Every now and then I bring that up. But I mean,
every now and again.
with the things that you've learned through steps to voiceoversuccess.com and, our one-on-one consultations that we have, and in particular, the whole thing with Mailshake, we got to get to the point. You got an amazing deal from using this simple strategy that we teach. I want you to walk me through how this happened and what it was.
Okay. So in November, one of the emails I'd sent through was to a media company called FutureNet.
Okay.
Which they're one of the largest distributors of online digital media. They own a number of online magazines and things. It turns out one of their clients is the Professional Footballers Association in the UK.
Now that's football, but soccer, right?
Yeah. Potato. Yeah. It's that game played with a ball in your feet. Yeah. So the Professional Footballers Association, it's as you know, it's not the Professional Soccer Association of football. But yeah, it turns out they were one of their clients. They emailed me back, offered me the chance to audition for a project they had. I sent through an audition. Of the 100 or so auditions that went through, they liked my voice. They contacted me back and offered me the job. It was to voice the introductory voiceover. So from 2018, any new member of the Professional Footballers Association, so any new footballers within any of the English leagues, will hear me introducing the PFA and explaining what it is and what it can do for them. That's
amazing. And this came from just sending out an email, getting a list and sending out an email to companies in your area or businesses in your area that potentially would hire voiceover artists or voice actors.
And that list was media production companies within the UK. It was a list of about 1,200 companies. And this turned out to be one of them.
Yeah. And so the list that you paid for, £35, you made that plus. You made more than that just from this one client that you were able to acquire from that list that you received.
This one client paid me for that, and the voiceover itself was 3.5 minutes. Took me 20 minutes to do, probably. Yeah, it took me all in all, 20 minutes to do, from record, master, edit, email across. One revision for it, which was they changed a word. And for that, they paid me 500 English pounds. So,
oh my goodness,
$600.
That's amazing. And it's, and I hear these types of stories all the time from the different folks that are using this Mailshake strategy. I'm going to have Mailshake pay me every time I say Mailshake at this point. But I mean, it's an amazing product. It's an awesome, piece of software or app that's right on, anyone can use that has the basic knowledge of marketing. You can set this thing up and just start making a difference. The follow-up and the sequences that they do on autopilot are just amazing to me. And it's been one of the main things, especially in this year, that has helped drive what it is that I'm doing in voiceover. And it sounds like it's doing the same thing for you.
Yeah, the time it saves is unbelievable. As I say, it is something you can throw the list in and forget about it and then work all your other marketing efforts on top while it's marketing on your behalf in the background.
Yeah. Well, tell me this, from all the things that are happening right now, I mean, and a lot of us that are doing this thing called voiceover, especially in the beginning, you know, we're in our homes, you know, we're in our basements, we're in our attics, you know, we're in our garages, you know, doing these things. And we've got our family, you know, our wives and our kids kind of looking at us kind of crazy. What is the general feeling around the house about what it is that Ben is doing?
Same. My children just think I'm crazy. Most of the time I do this, they're in bed anyway, so they listen to me sat there. What are you doing, Daddy? Oh, I'm just editing this. What is it? Oh, it's just you talking again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. My little boy, my 4-year-old, is now quite happy that I've built a small recording booth up in my spare room, which he just uses now as a den most of the time.
Yeah.
But before that was I think I started off with some moving blankets over a lighting rig that I had from when I was singing. Now I've got a booth up there, so it's PVC pipes as a frame and producer's choice blankets over there.
Okay.
It's got a better sound absorption. So again, it's not, I'm not spending thousands of pounds on a whisper room or anything like that.
Don't have to.
So this cost me £250 to build, and a couple of hours of my time.
Yeah, exactly.
with all the blankets, and it works probably just as well as a whisper room would.
Exactly. The only thing that's different is it's just not soundproof. That's pretty much it. But the acoustics are really what you're going for to make sure that you control. But I mean, anyone can do this. But what are you looking at towards the future? What does the next 12 months look like for Ben Wake?
Okay. I actually got an email through today from a job I did about a month ago, that they're looking to rehire me to do another couple of sections for a learning project that they're doing.
Yeah.
So repeat client, which is always good.
Obviously, yeah.
Over the next 12 months, I want more repeat clients.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I'm getting a lot where I'm doing initial jobs for people. It's a case of trying to build it up where it becomes sustainable. Because I work a full-time job.
Yeah.
65 hours, 6 days a week, out the house. I do the voiceover alongside that, and I have the family. The aim over the next 12 months is certainly to make the voiceover take over a lot of the income from the full-time job.
Yeah.
And in doing so allows me then more time to spend with the family.
Well, as we wrap this interview up, and I want to thank you for taking the time out to do this with us here, and,
pleasure.
For VQ Quarterly, or, VoiceOver Quarterly magazine, and also for steps to voiceoversuccess.com. What is some advice that you would give to new voiceover artists today?
Learn. So take the time to look and try and learn as much as possible. Reach out to people within the community. A lot of us as new voiceover artists and even the established ones will take the time to speak to you. But pay attention to the ones who are trying to sell you the dream. The dream that you are going to make it. You are going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, pounds within the next 6 to 12 months. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
The get rich quick scheme doesn't exist. It's hard work, but it's rewarding. When you get that job through that client who's coming through saying, "Oh, that was great. I really enjoyed that." When you get the finished product through and you see that they're putting it on their website or they're sending it out to companies as e-learning, or I say in my case with the football, they're putting it in front of every new player of next year.
That's crazy.
So I've sat there and, some of these players are going to be earning hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. The first thing they heard was me.
Yeah.
Explaining what the benefits of that were.
That's amazing, man. That is completely amazing.
But yeah, it's fun. Enjoy it. It's a performance art at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But as I say, and probably one of the best bits of advice is find, a good coach, a good mentor that is going to take the time. I recommend you will, personally.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But there's one thing I know about coaching. I mean, it's the coach that an individual chooses is a very personal thing. I don't believe that my personality is suited for everyone. I don't think I'm like the only person you should go to. But I think there's plenty of people that are out here. And it's just a matter of searching them out and looking for them. And there is a coach for everyone. There's a mentor out there for everyone. And I know that I'm not the best one for everyone, but there's some folks that are out here that no one can mentor them better than I can. And I know that. So it's just a matter of knowing yourself, really, and getting out there and doing it. But, but thanks so much, Ben. I thoroughly appreciate you doing this interview with me on tonight, or it's late night. Is it tomorrow yet where you are?
Not yet. We've got about 15 minutes.
We got about 15 minutes before it's tomorrow. Okay. Well, thanks so much for doing this. And I look forward to working with you much more into the future.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. Well, as I say, we will make me a full-time VO by the time we finish together.
Absolutely.